Hey, my name is Dee. Thanks for taking the time to hang with me again this week. Welcome back to my video diary. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to create your very own beautiful looking Olaf. You know, Olaf, the famous snowman who loves to give warm hugs, the famous snowman from Frozen. Okay, enough of it. Let's just get down to the tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of fondant and I'm going to roll it into a ball, taper out one end slightly and flatten the other end against my board. This will form the top half of my Olaf's body. I'll take a slightly larger piece of fondant, roll it into a ball. I'm not going to taper it off so much. This is going to form the bottom half of my Olaf's body. Then I'll set that aside. I'll take another smaller pieces of fondant. I'll taper them off a little bit at one end, create a depression at the tapered end, then smoothing the other end. These pieces are going to form my Olaf's legs. I'll set that aside as well. Next, I'll start with an oval shaped fondant. This time around, I'll roll a piece of fondant into an oval shape, then I'll press in at both sides. Then I'll go towards almost the center and pinch out to make a protrusion. While I'm pinching out to make a protrusion, I'm also using my thumbs to kind of form and smoothing out the mouth cavity. I'll bend the protrusion slightly upwards. This is going to form Olaf's mouth. So we just want to define the curves and the edges of the face. So as you can see right now, the whole facial structure is already defined. The smile, the mouth. Since you have the basic shape, we're just going to fill in the rest to create the face completely. So let's just set this aside, move on to completing the other parts of Olaf's body. For the nose, you basically want to make a tiny carrot. Take your orange fondant, roll it off into a small cone, and use the back of your craft knife to just create the pressure. So we're going to be making the stick hands next and the stick hairs. So for this one, I'm using a 24 gauge florist wire. Just cut it up into pieces. I have about 4 pieces here, so I'm just going to align 3 pieces, tie them together with my florist tape, and then a quarter way into binding them together, I'm going to attach the remaining 4th piece and I'm going to bind them all the way down. Let me just explain that again. So I took 3 florist wires, 3 cut up 24 gauge florist wires, and then I am binding them together with my florist tape. A quarter way into binding them together, I'm adding a 4th, and then I'm just going to bind all of them together. I'm just going to use my Dresden tool to smoothen it. This is going to form the stick hands, and I'll be doing the same thing to make the stick hairs of my Olaf. Now we just set that aside and we'll go on to finish the face. Remember where we had our Olaf smile? So you're just going to curve the top down a bit. Just use your thumb to just push it down a bit to make a lower C kind of. So you have that curve facing down and not facing up anymore. I'm just taking my ball tool to create depressions on Olaf's face, depressions that will be the eye cavity. Then there are several other ways to do this, but you know this tutorial, I'm basically trying to show you the fastest and easiest method. So I just went with my food writer. So you take your food writer and you just use it to create the eye outline. We're also going to be using the same food writer to create the black mouth outline. So once that's done, take small balls of fondant and then you just put it in there in the eye outline. For the teeth, I'm just going to cut up tiny bits of fondant, use tiny bits of florist wire and a little bit of water and just stick it in there. Make sure it's nice and firm, it's not falling off. I'm just going to go on ahead and stick on his nose, attach it to his face with a little bit of water, and it looks really weird without his eyebrows right now. For his eyebrows, I just mixed together brown food color and vodka and just painted on his eyebrows. Looking good. Olaf is looking good already. Just want to flatten that underside real good. So I'm just going to take a larger florist wire and some water and just assemble Olaf. start to finish. So I'm attaching the two halves of his body. Then obviously you roll three small pieces of round black fondant. Like I said, you can equally do this with food writer. You can just, mark the dots out. But hey, I just wanted to combine both for this one. So I just rolled three tiny pieces of fondant for the buttons, and I just stuck them on there after I was done attaching the top and bottom half of Olaf's body. Then use a florist wire and some water, attach his head to the body. Yeah, I'm just going to tilt his head a little bit because I think he's cuter that way. See, he's looking really nice already. So we'll finish him off. I don't mean finish him off like get rid of him or kill him or something like that. No, we just finish assembling all the different parts of Olaf to make him whole and complete and beautiful and cute and cuddly. So you'll use a florist wire to attach the legs alongside a little bit of water. Attach the legs. At this point, I need to mention if you were going to stand him on your cake, you might want to use something like a skewer to attach both legs to Olaf. I didn't use skewer because I was making him for demo purposes, such that the skewer can go into your cake to give you some sort of a firmer hold. So now, after we've attached his stick hands and his stick hairs, I'm just going to go back to my mixed brown paint, and I'm just going to paint this. I'm just going to paint it brown. Now I did it this way because obviously I didn't have brown florist tape on hand, and I didn't have brown florist wires on hand either. But if you have those, you can just go ahead and use those instead, and you don't have to paint afterwards. Everybody, I give you our final look. Ta-da! Hi, I'm Olaf, and I love to give warm hugs. Oh, I love to give warm hugs to Olaf. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe so we can hang out again next week. See you next time. Bye.